Is food allergy a myth in Nigeria? I know this is one of those niche topics. Honestly speaking, I assume the people listening to this topic is a little bit more privileged than the average Nigerian, so the question comes as no surprise. But have you ever thought, why haven't you seen people allergic in Nigeria to food, or is it a white people thing? Welcome back, guys. This is Madness in Nigeria Living, and I'm your host, Gesi. This thought process of this episode came to me from a friend. It was like, how come you've never spoken about your food allergy? And I'm like, because I don't think a lot of Nigerians have food allergy. But when we were talking about it, he said something that I actually find fascinating. First of all, I've been abstaining from my allergy for a while now. I avoid every food that has shellfish in it. I've been doing it for a while because I cook my food myself. But I know that's not viable for a lot of people. It's just that it's something I've never really thought about until he said something, which is Loratadine, the drug I used to buy for like 1,000 naira, it's now 12,000 naira. Which means if I'm having my mild allergic reaction and I don't want to live with the discomfort, I'll have to spend 12k. 2021, I bought that drug for 1k. No, it's not fair. I said, let me do awareness. Awareness on food allergy. Okay, link to all my research paper will be down below. I felt it's fitting for most people to make their research on this. Reason being, medical related terms, I find it difficult to remember. So even though I read a lot of research before this episode, I'm still not going to use very technical terms because it doesn't come to me. One thing is for sure though, food allergy in Nigeria and West Africa as a whole has been on the rise. And the exact cause is not entirely clear. There's also the problem of malnutrition and normal childhood diseases share a lot of symptoms with common food allergy. So without proper research, we can only truly speculate. So, starting the episode like this is very tricky. It's like, why are you going to listen to the end now if I'm just saying it's a speculation? Don't worry, research is being done. It's just that the sample size is very small. I saw a research that was done on 975 Port Harcourt people. About 28% were found allergic to a couple of food, like marine food, yam, and the rest. It's just a 1,000 people sample size is very small. In the scientific community, it will be considered very small, and it will be somehow to just generalize based on that. That's why more research has to be done on it. With that being said, link to proper research papers would be down below. Now let me focus on what I'm talking about, food allergy. Like I said, this is something a lot of people have not really thought about, I believe. The reason I believe that is because I'm allergic to shellfish, which for a lot of Nigerians, the moment I say that, they'll be like, not be white people, they get allergy. Why you get allergy? Not be white people. White people. Why do we feel it's a white people disease? Is it really even deep to think about why we feel it's a white people disease? We can't deny the fact that from our movies and the rest, we know white people are more allergic to certain food, and we don't necessarily see Nigerian people allergic to those same food. But is it a situation wherein the black race is better, or is there more? Hopefully I'm going to talk about the more, but before I do, I was having a conversation today, as at my time of recording. By the time I upload it, it will be 3 days after. So I was having a conversation with an electrician today, and the electrician said something that I find fascinating. First of all, correlation is not equal to causation. I know that, but I find it fascinating, so I'm going to mention it regardless. The electrician said something. He said, if not for the fact that everybody will turn on their gen and noise pollution, that there's nothing better than fresh air. That it doesn't make a lot of sense that Lagos is overpopulated to the point everybody always turn on their gen, one, and then the buildings are very high. So we don't have proper ventilation, that ACs cannot be good for the human body. Always being under ACs. Say, but then we'll still turn on our AC because everywhere is hot. Why is that something I find fascinating? When I was making my research on allergy, food allergy in Nigeria and West Africa, I saw one thing in common, which is the more westernized the city is, the higher the people allergic to food or other things, which was fascinating. That was the common correlation. And like I always say, correlation is not equal to causation, but the correlation is there. And there are a lot of reasons as to why people believe it's there. One of them is this. They believe because in the modern world, we are less likely to breastfeed for a longer period of time. We have higher chances of introducing our kids to normal food, to other food, to milk formulas and the rest. It prevents the child from building antibodies that makes them fight back some of these things, and that increases the chances of them being allergic to some other things. So, one of the articles I read was talking about how, as Nigerians, we should go back to our earlier ways of doing this thing, breastfeeding for like 12 months to almost 2 years. I think one of the articles I read said that. Then they were also saying when we want to introduce our kids to food, we should try more local variety. So instead of introducing them to custard, we should try akamu. Akamu. I'm not a fan. Now, this in itself is nothing groundbreaking, but what I do find groundbreaking is this. I was talking to a friend. I have a lot of friends. I was talking to a friend about this episode last week, and she said the same reaction I usually get. Wait, Nigerians, they get allergy. I'm like, yeah. She was like, who do you know that have allergy? I was like, me. She was, which allergy? I said, shellfish allergy. She said, which one is that? I say, crayfish, lobsters, and the rest. And she was like, ajebota. Okay, why are you calling me ajebota? Why are you forcefully accusing me that I've lived a privileged life? But the conversation only got more interesting when I highlighted that over the years I've met different Nigerians with different allergies. Maybe because I have allergy myself and it's a conversation point, but I've met people. One of which was someone who is allergic to eggs. Eggs trigger asthmatic reaction for her. She start having difficulty breathing. And my friend that I was saying this was like, wait, is she allergic to chicken? I say no, it's in agreed to the door. She doesn't want to eat eggs. That's why she's saying she's allergic to eggs. I'm like, I know someone else who is allergic to fish. She said, that's mommy water spirit now. Then she cannot be eating her own. That she can't eat fish because she's part of the marine kingdom. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why? Where is this mindset coming from? But the thing is this, yeah. Usually when I tell people I have shellfish allergy, they usually tell me, you don't just like eating it. And I'm like, that's not it. But worse than that here is the fact that even if I go to a restaurant, a well-established restaurant, I ask them, what's in your food? I'm allergic to this. Did you cook this food with this? They usually tell me they didn't, just so they can sell the food to me. And I've eaten from well-established restaurants multiple times, and I start seeing the reaction. The truth is, my own allergic reaction is very mild. But the problem is this. If we as Nigerians can say that to sell, or we generally just disregard food allergy as a thing, and food allergy in Nigeria is on the rise, we can see where there's a problem brewing, if the problem is not already happening. Someone tweeted that food allergy in Nigeria is something we never take seriously. So there's a high chance a lot of kids that died as kids died from food allergy that could have been avoided. Then the few that survived with it, their reaction is so mild that they don't even notice it's food allergy. And this was one consensus I also saw in research paper, that first of all, food allergy is underdiagnosed in Nigeria. We don't have a lot of people who can do proper research on it, proper diagnosis on it. We don't have a lot of people who even believe in the concept to begin with, and we are more likely to ascribe food allergy to something else. We are more likely to ascribe it to poisoning. We are more likely to ascribe it to the gods is angry at us or some other spiritual thing. And it's like, why? Why do we do that? First of all, ignorance, straight up. But the problem is, whether or not we're ignorant, the reality of food allergy is a thing. And because it's a thing, it's very crucial for us to make awareness about it. When I first heard this story, I never thought about it through the lenses of allergy. And there's also the possibility that me doing it now might be wrong, but I feel it's very important to think in this mindset. When I was younger, I heard the story of a Christian that his dad, every time he eats rice, he started having difficulty breathing. So the dad started avoiding eating rice over and over again till one day when the dad was way older, he ate rice. I don't know why he did, but he died. And then the Christian that gave the testimony said, after his dad died, because his dad was an idol worshipper, after his dad died, he started realizing that the same thing was happening to him. And he started struggling with the breathing. But as a Christian, he started praying and praying, and then the allergy stopped. No, sorry. The story wasn't giving us allergy. The spiritual attack stopped. That it was clearly a spiritual attack, and as a child of God, the spiritual attack cannot continue. When I was younger, beautiful testimony. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, what if? What if the dad was just allergic to rice? A lot of allergies are hereditary. There's also the possibility of allergy starting in adulthood. Like my shellfish allergy started in adulthood. Yes, most allergies start in childhood and you outgrow them. Same way you can develop it in adulthood. And what is the possibility that that man developed it in adulthood coincidentally as at the same period his dad died? Coincidence or spiritual attack? It's left for you to believe. Me, I'm just saying, if we look at it through the lenses of allergy, we can do proper research. We can try to be more scientific about it, because there's a possibility that an EpiPen could have saved the dad. An EpiPen is the drug you insert on someone if their allergic reaction is very severe. Most people, any antihistamine like loratadine would work, and you don't need something like EpiPen. The point is, just that mild reaction or that severe reaction can easily be saved. Another thing is, if we have awareness for allergy, we are now more likely to take people with allergy more seriously, because I know I've reacted to food over and over again from friends, family members, restaurants that all feel I just don't like shellfish, and so they'll cook with it and tell me it's not in the food. And to make matters worse, for some weird reason, my tongue is not that sensitive to shellfish, meaning you can cook with it and I would not know it's in the food. Do I have ops and enemies that might take this information and use it to snipe me? Okay, now no more eating people's food. Noted. That said, because a lot of people feel the allergic reaction was just me being extra, they were more likely to feed me food with it, even though I've informed them prior that I'm allergic to it. Now, luckily for me, my allergic reaction is not severe. It's very mild, but I'm abstaining from every food with it. For some people, it's a little bit more severe, or increased contact with the allergen can make it more severe for them, and that's why it's very crucial, especially since research is showing allergic reaction is getting higher in Nigeria. In one hand, we need more research to determine how severe the problem is in Nigeria. I don't believe it is severe, but on the other hand, if there's a rise, then it's very crucial for us to be aware of it and do the needful, because there are a lot of ways to manage it, and just being aware of it is a very easy way to manage it. It's a very, very easy way. It's nothing serious. I don't think today's episode is anything serious. I feel it's just one thing that I'm creating an awareness on food allergy. Maybe because I'm allergic, Maybe because there are a lot of people that might be allergic and they don't know they're allergic. For one, if you itch to yam, like after you finish peeling yam, you itch to it, that's an allergic reaction. Not everybody itch to that, but a lot of people do. And a lot of people don't see it as an allergic reaction. That is not a severe allergic reaction, but there are more severe reactions that you don't know. And it's very difficult to isolate the exact allergen. For me, I was lucky to be able to isolate one because I came from the kind of home that we cook with a lot of shellfish. So I just had an incident wherein shrimps were fried and I threw the shrimps in my mouth and I started reacting. That's how I could isolate. Prior to that, I was already reacting without knowing. And there's also the problem, I'm not going to lie, there's also the problem where self-diagnosis can be off. But just the awareness of it can help prevent severe injury, severe damage. And that's it, guys. Food allergy is the topic. I don't think this will be one of those popular topics. It might not be the interest for a lot of people. But I felt it was crucial to highlight this. And also, to be fair, us adapting a more westernized way of living is correlated to us being allergic to food and other things. So maybe one solution can be going back to our old ways. Me, I feel the more logical option is just awareness. With awareness, we would, navigate the problem better, I think. So there you have it, guys. Not a serious episode. Thanks for coming. Link to research paper will be down below. You can hit the like button, subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, hit the follow, rate the show if you're enjoying it so far. So